Flowers are one of the best decorating accessories, but they also happen to be one of the hardest to take care of, especially if you have a black thumb like me. So today, I'm here at H.J. Bankins to learn how to take care of your fresh cut flowers and keep them looking as good for as long as possible. I'm hitting the road, searching for answers and finding great design. It's a quest for beauty, function, and of course, inspiration. I have a pretty bad black thumb, and when I bring home fresh flowers, they always seem to die. And I'm sure I'm doing something wrong and I don't know what it is. So what do you need to do to care for fresh flowers?
Okay, Megan, when you get them home, you want to have a vase ready with some lukewarm water in it.
Is it important that it's lukewarm?
It is. It helps to absorb into the stems faster if it's a little lukewarm.
Really?
You don't want it too hot, and you don't want it too cold. Just lukewarm is good.
And do you need to put food in it?
Well, if you have some floral preservative that you've been given, you can go ahead and mix that in. That would be good.
Now, does Sprite work?
Sprite will work. You can use Sprite if you don't have the floral preservative. Sprite.
I've also heard the copper coin, bleach, all of these other crazy things. Do those really work?
Yeah, bleach will work. You can also just put in a little dab of bleach. That'll work just
So
as
how
well.
much? Just like...
Just a little drop. Just
really,
a
really tiny.
Small drop.
Like you're using hot sauce in there, just like the tiniest drop?
That would be perfect.
But is it better to use the floral food?
The floral food would be the #1 way to go. But if you don't, you can use the bleach or you can use a little bit of Sprite.
So you can just toss that in and it'll work?
That'll work.
All right, so then you come home, you get the lukewarm water, and then you put the food in, or if you're in a crunch and you need Sprite and bleach, what's the next thing you have to do?
Okay, what you want to do is you want to have a sharp knife, and then you're going to want to put a fresh cut on your flowers. You want
All right.
to cut the stem.
How far up do you cut it?
Well, depending on how long you want to leave it in your vase, you would decide the length of the stem that you would want to leave it at, and then you're going to cut it at a slant. You're going to take your knife and put a nice slanted cut on it.
And do you have to cut that under running water? Because I've heard that.
Years ago, you used to have to do it that way, but it's kind of been proven that that's not really necessary. It used to be that it would keep the air bubbles out and make the water go in faster. So if you just put a fresh cut on it and then submerge it in the water right away, that's why you want to have your base of water ready and go ahead and put it right in.
So then, after you cut it and you put it in, and you make your whole entire floral arrangement, then is there any place that you have to put it in your house? Like, I always put mine in the sun, because I figure that plants need sun.
That is not the recommended place to put it.
Really? I'm putting it in the wrong place?
That is the wrong place to put it.
Well, now you know where my black thumb comes from.
A little bit of light would be good, but direct sunlight would definitely heat up this arrangement and kill it faster.
Really? So then where should you put it?
Maybe on a table away from a window would be good, and definitely not by a TV where it's also going to get a lot of heat, or on top of a refrigerator where there's a lot of heat, or near a microwave, which is also a lot of heat, or near an air conditioning, which would freeze it. So just on a...
Just kind of average temperature, no extremes.
Right.
Now, after you've put it in the right place, not in the sun, all right, do you have to do anything else, or can you just leave your arrangement there?
Well, you would want to change the water periodically. Like, check it every day and maybe put some fresh water and fresh preservative in it. That way, your flowers are going to last longer. The fresh water would not have any bacteria in it, so the flowers are going to stay nice and fresh for you.
So the bacteria hurts the flowers?
It definitely hurts the flowers. It shortens the life of the flowers.
Really? So then how often do you have to change the water?
I would recommend changing it every day.
Every day? Are you serious? Really?
Really.
Wow. So then when you change the water, do you have to put more food in it?
More food or more bleach.
And do you have to cut the stems again?
A fresh cut would definitely...
Really? So you have to keep cutting the stems. So you kind of, in the beginning, you want your flowers to be taller than you do in the end, because otherwise they'll be smushed down in there.
Right.
When you make the second fresh cut, how far up do you have to cut it?
Just a little ways up would be fine. What happens is after you've made the fresh cut, if you don't get the stem in the water right away, this starts to dry up and seal itself.
Really?
Right away. So that's the reason you want to get it in the water immediately, so the water will go right up to that stem and get to the flower head.
Now, are there any flowers you can't put with each other?
There is some flowers, daffodils come to my mind right away, that has that sap in it, that you want to submerge them in water by themselves first, and then after they've seal themselves off, then you can mix them in with other flowers.
Really? So if you mix daffodils with other flowers without for submersing them,
Right.
they kill off the other flowers?
They could, yes.
Really?
Right.
Why is that?
Because they have that substance in their stem, it's real kind of sappy. You'll notice that when you cut them that it kind of leaks right out.
Interesting. So is there anything else that you need to know when you are caring for your flowers?
Another important thing is the foliage. You want to strip off, leave on as many leaves as you can, but you do want to take all the bottom leaves off because the foliage down in the water will start to decay, and that'll shorten the life of your flowers.
Really?
Too.
So you have to remove all of the foliage before you put it in there?
Well, you want to leave as much as you can on the top.
So it's okay to have it on the top, just not in the water?
Not in the water.
I get it. So then other than the foliage, do you have to do anything else to prep your flowers?
No, I think that'll do it.
Really? So then you'll have a beautiful bouquet?
Then you'll have a beautiful bouquet.
For extra information about where I've been and what I've learned, visit my website, www.askthedecorator.com.